Okay, so I'm ready. It's time to introduce, guys, my next guest. How excited am I? I wanted him on the show for a long time. Let's say hello to the one and only. It's Joe McElderry. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, I'm very well, thank you. I've still got a little bit. I've been in America for the past couple of days performing out there, so I've got a little bit of jet lag, but other than that, I'm fine.
How did that go? Because from reviews that I've read, it seems like the crowd absolutely loved you and loved having you over. So did you enjoy the experience?
Yeah, I mean, I was quite anxious and apprehensive about going out because I haven't actually even released an album there, and none of my music was available there, so I wasn't really sure how it was going to be received, because normally you kind of go out once you kind of put some music out.
Yeah.
But the crowd, they ate it up, they were well up for it, they were screaming, jumping up and down, having a party. So yeah, we've kind of had a few of us to go back out there and do some more performances, so it's quite exciting.
Now, so is that something that you'd love to do again, go back out there?
Sorry?
Would you like to go back to America again if you have the opportunity?
100%. I mean, obviously, when you take music to a new place, or you play, I kind of think it's kind of like playing, when your song gets played on the radio for the first time, or you're releasing a new album. It's the same kind of excitement when you're going somewhere where you're kind of not that known, because everything's so fresh, everything's so new, there's no kind of previous knowledge, I suppose, of anything else that's happened in your career. So you can kind of, really go in with a refreshed mind. So I'm always up for, I mean, we're discussing it at the minute of obviously taking music to different territories in the next couple of years. So it's always a really exciting thing to think about.
And I mean, you've made the papers quite recently for something that you must be so excited about. It's unreal. You performed with one of the biggest stars in the world, being Beyonce. You sang with her at one of the concerts. Now,
well, yeah, I mean, we can say performed. I mean, if we're being realistic, I sang 3 lines, but I'm going to stick with it a duet. But yeah, I mean, I've been obsessed with Beyonce since I was about 12. If you look back on all of my previous interviews that I've ever done, whenever I get asked who my dream duet partner is, it's Beyonce. So I went to the concert. I actually hadn't the black year that was going to happen, and I was completely starstruck. The look on my face, I only got myself around to watching the video last week, because I was so embarrassed by the look on my face. I looked so overwhelmed. I was more impressed, but she was impressed by my voice. That was more of a compliment to me. That she was so, that she thought I was good enough to even bend down and pass the microphone to. So yeah, it was a one for the book and one to remember, definitely.
Now, did she know who you were when she kind of approached you with a microphone? Was she aware that your career?
I mean, I would imagine no. I would like to think she did, but being completely honest, I think she's so big, and I imagine she's kept away from the press and kind of all of that kind of stuff that goes on. So, and obviously as well, she's based in America, where I'm not that known. So I probably don't think she knew who I was. She might have been told that I was in the audience. We still actually don't know whether she knew or not that it was me. So I don't know. I suppose that's one. If I ever get the opportunity to meet her again, I'll have to ask her.
You have to ask her. Now, I mean, you've had such an amazing kind of 4 or 5 years now. I mean, obviously, we all know you, very lovable. You came onto the X Factor back in 2009 and eventually went on to win it. Now, did you ever, you must get asked this a lot, but did you ever think you were going to win when you went to your audition?
Not at all. I mean, when you go to something like that, I mean, this is how I thought anyways. When you go for something as big as a TV show like that, you kind of just think, alright, well, this is going to be fun. It's a good experience to do the audition. I'll enjoy it while it lasts, and then, I'll probably get sent home after the second audition or even the first one, and that'll be it. It'll be a good experience. And at each point throughout the show, I kind of had that mentality. From boot camp to judges' houses, I thought, oh, well, if I get to here, I've had a lot of exposure on TV. I'll go home, I'll get a few gigs locally, and, that'll be a kind of little bit of a kickstart for everything. But I never, ever kind of dreamt that, 3.5, 4 years down the line, I don't know how long it is exactly, but I've never dreamt that I would still be doing stuff now, and still recording and doing shows and performing. I mean, it's incredible, and the support I've had has been incredible, which I'm always so thankful for, to the supporters that come along to the shows, that buy the album, that spend the time on Twitter and, help out with promotion and talk about things. And, without that, I wouldn't be where I am. So I'm forever thankful to everyone.
I mean, you've got such a great fan base, because I mean, the tweets have been coming in kind of just continuously right now, so I'll read some of them out later. But obviously your mentor on the show was Cheryl Cole. Now, would you say she understood you as an artist? Because you two seem to have such a good relationship, it was almost like she totally understood you.
I wouldn't even say I wouldn't even say it was like an understanding from an artist's point of view. I think we just kind of got each other. You know, we're both very similar we're both very professional and very like into music and performing and everything being like my main aim on X Factor was, you know, obviously I wanted to get through every week, but I was obsessed with like making sure I knew every single lyric, making sure I knew which camera I was looking at, and I think she kind of seen that, and she's very similar to that. Like, she wants the performance to be perfect, so we kind of just got each other, and most of all, we just got on really well. We had fun. We enjoyed being in each other's company, so it was great to have somebody like that. And I think obviously as well, being from the same area, we kind of understood each other's backgrounds completely. You know, she was brought up about 20 minutes away from where my dad was brought up, and 20 minutes away from where I was brought up. And although we'd never met previous to the show, you know, I know people from those areas that, you know, you kind of know the backgrounds that each of us come from.
And do you still stay in contact with her? Do you still kind of, you know, speak to her?
Yeah, we do. I mean, it's difficult. She spends a lot of time in America, and I'm always kind of busy doing stuff as well, so we don't see each other as much as we'd like. But we send each other your text message and drop in with each other and catch up. And, you know, I know all of the people that work with her and her team, and she knows people that work with mine, so it's very easy for her to catch up and stuff. And I seen it just before Christmas. We had a big night out in Newcastle after our tour. Which turned into a pretty messy night, but it was fun. But yeah, you know, it's great that we can still have a relationship after so long, and after so much has gone on in both of our careers.
Hello?
Hello?
Are you there yet?
Yeah.
So what I wanted to kind of touch upon, after the X Factor, you became the UK #1. Now, I can't even imagine how you celebrated. What went through your head when you heard you were, because I mean there was a bit of a campaign at first with Rage Against the Machine, with who, you know, to who was going to, but eventually you became #1. So do you remember how you felt at the time?
Do you know, I was just so in awe of everything going on. I mean, I was actually on holiday when I found out I was #1. I was skiing in Austria, because I'd obviously done the week of promotion for the first week of the song being out. Then we had all of the Rage Against the Machine battle, and then we went away. And I actually listened to the Radio 1 announcement on a mountain, on a ski lift. So it was a pretty special moment, and one I'll never forget. But I remember actually being on that ski lift, and I was with all my family, and I remember kind of sitting on the ski lift after the whole whirlwind of the X Factor that had gone on, and just thinking, God, like, what has actually happened to my life in the past 6 months? It was just crazy, like crazy. So it was a special kind of. It was a special week altogether, like with the #1 and with everything else that had gone on. It was an amazing experience.
And I mean, that continued, because obviously you had your second single, which actually is one of my favourite songs. It's so addictive, catchy. Ambitions, of course. And I love your dance moves in the video, I must say. I was watching that earlier on just to kind of do some research, and the dance moves in that video were amazing.
Yeah, well, I think we worked with the choreographer who had done a lot of stuff with Cheryl in the Fight for This Love video, and I kind of said to her at the time, I said, I want something like, you know, in Cheryl's video, she had done all the kind of cool little moves that everybody's tried to copy. And I said to Beth Honan, the choreographer, who does a lot of incredible artists as well, and, you know, I was really lucky to work with her, I said, I want something that, you know, that everybody can kind of copy, and that's a bit of fun. So we kind of created our own little dance. I mean, she did, obviously. She went away and choreographed it all. And, yeah, it was a fun little move. But even now, you know, I still perform that song, then it's really funny watching the crowd do it. Everybody chimes in and does it. It's a bit like a dance craze.
I mean, after all of, obviously, you know, your chart success, something that a lot of people didn't expect was you went on a show called Pop Star to Opera Star, and eventually won that as well. I mean, the public absolutely loved you on that, and that was such a kind of turning point in your career, because you then went on to do kind of more of a classical thing. So how would you describe that experience going? Would you say being on the show made you want to release your your classical stuff?
To be honest with you, I had just parted ways with Psycho at the point when I had just before the whole Psycho thing ended, and we kind of parted ways. I was asked to be a part of the show by ITV. And said, would you like to come in for a meeting and do a little singing coach lesson thing and see if it's something that you want to do? And we really want you for the show. Why don't you come in and try some of the material, see if you want to do it? So I went in for the meeting, and I kind of, to be honest with you, and I've said this before, I thought it was going to be a bit of a joke and a bit of fun. I had 6 weeks in the schedule free anyways, because I had loads of shows previous to that, and I was going to take some time off and enjoy, the summer. It was the first time I'd had a bit of time off. But I thought, it'll be a laugh, it's fun, it's live TV, and I'll just pretend to sing opera and everything will be great. And little did I know when I got to the first rehearsal that was completely, I was wrong, and I was going to have to really learn it. But to be honest with you, I threw myself into it, I worked hard, and it was one of the best things I could have done vocally from my voice. I learned so much that techniques now that I still use, and that still help us on a daily basis when I'm singing. And obviously then I went on to record the album, which Decca came forward and said, would you be interested in recording some classical stuff on a new record? And at first I kind of thought, this is hard because I've got a fan base that have heard all of this completely different material. Are they going to like it? Are they going to go with it and roll with it? And what I found is it kind of opened up a whole new set of people that were interested in the music, and also it took all the existing people who had supported this from the beginning on a whole new journey, and we kind of discovered it together, which I think was what made it so special at the time.
So obviously, that was, like I said, it was such a kind of a turning point because it led you onto so many different avenues, which is amazing. But something else I've just kind of learned, that you're going to be doing some pantomime.
Yeah.
You're doing everything. What can't you do? You seem like such a kind of multi-skilled guy.
Well, I've been, to be honest with you, ever since I did X Factor, from day one, I've been asked to do panto, and I've never ever been able to, it sounds stupid, but from being 5 years old, I have always wanted to be in a pantomime. I just loved the whole thing about it. I used to go and see it every year with the family, with the school, and I used to watch it and be fascinated by the kind of comedy in it and everything in it, the variety of it. So they've been asking every year since I did X Factor, would you be interested this year, would you do it this year? And I've never had the time to do it, or I've been away on holiday or something like that. And this year, they came in early enough where we could say yes. We had lots of time in advance. Normally, it wouldn't be, announced until a long time away. And they said, listen, we really want you to do it, would you do it? And I said, all right, clear the schedule for it. Let's put it in, let's do it for some fun. So yeah, I'm just doing it for the fun factor. I'm always up for trying new things and putting my stamp on things, so I thought I'd give it a go.
And talking of new things, do you have kind of any upcoming projects that you can tell us about? Is there kind of going to be some new material?
Yeah, I'm recording at the minute and writing and stuff for the new album. There's no set date yet, so I'm kind of just taking my time and trying stuff and, talking with the label on what kind of ideas we're going to do and stuff like that. I'm kind of on tour through the summer, doing a lot of summer dates, which you can find out on my website, joemckelderryofficial.com, if anybody wants to check out where we're going. We're going to quite a lot of different places where I've never been before as well. And yeah, I'm writing new material, I'm being back in the studio, and there's a few other things as well coming up which are very exciting, which I can't talk about yet. It's
just teasing us here.
It's very busy at the minute, it's very crazy my life at the minute, which is fun. It's always fun when your feet don't touch the ground.
Now, we've got loads of tweets. I'm going to read a couple out if that's okay from your fans.
Of course.
First of all, I don't know this. I don't know if it's going to be such an obvious thing, but somebody called Angie Joe Lover, and she's on Twitter, and her name is McElderry in love, and she said, "Did you enjoy your Tonga party?"
Oh, I'm having a Tonga party tonight.
Oh, I see. Right.
I was on holiday I wasn't on holiday. I was in America working. Why did it say I was on holiday? I wasn't on holiday. I was in America working on my birthday, so I didn't get a chance to see all my friends. So I'm having a big party in my house tonight. Everybody's coming round and we're all getting dressed up. I thought I'd been on holiday a couple of weeks before that to Greece, so I thought why not have a Tonga party and keep the scene running. So Yeah, it should be fun.
Well, we just had Joe Music Promo tweet us and said, "Is Joe wearing a toga for the interview?"
It's not on yet. I haven't put it on yet.
And Shannon has tweeted, Shannon Walker, hello, she says, ask Joe to perform at a show in Edinburgh or Glasgow in the summer.
Well, it's funny actually, I've just been speaking with the management over the past few days, and that was one of my first conversations this week about doing some shows in Scotland again. So I'm sure we'll have some stuff to announce soon. And as soon as I can, and as soon as we can do one, I'll be sure to be coming to Scotland because I love performing there. So that's first on my wish list of performances over the next couple of months. So hold tight, I should be there soon.
And Vicky and Monia have both tweeted in, two of them. They've all just basically they just want to say a big hello to you, big shout. They say how much they love you, and one of them said thank you for following them, one of your fans.
Oh,
so big shout out to them.
Thank you very much, Dan.
We've got loads here. We've got Heidi, big fan of yours. She says happy belated birthday for Sunday.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Heidi.
Your toga party's getting so much. They want a sneak picture here. You must have been kind of teasing your fans about this.
I just mentioned it yesterday that's what I was going to be doing, but I might tweet a picture, we'll see. It depends if the logo looks good enough to be put out into the public domain.
Amanda tweeted in and said, please can you ask Joe if he will go back to Pittsburgh with his own show? Very good question.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would like to. It's something we're definitely talking about, you know. I mean, to actually go out to a different country and take my show, obviously I have to take the band and the production, the crew and all of that. It's a big thing, you know, it takes a lot of planning, so it's definitely something that we're working out and talking about and seeing where it's possible and stuff like that. But it's, yeah, I mean, it's exciting. It's exciting talking about all these things, and hopefully we'll be out there sooner rather than later, you know.
The exiled Scouser has tweeted and says, have you had any photos taken with Adam Lambert?
I didn't, you know, it's unfortunate, I didn't actually get to meet him when I supported Adam in Pittsburgh when I was in America. I didn't actually get the opportunity to meet him at the time. We kind of crossed paths. I was leaving as he was coming and he was going as I was leaving, so it was a shame, unfortunately.
And well, this is incredible. I think you're going to love this. We have listeners right now listening to you, Joe, from Romania.
Wow, well, hello all the way in Romania. I didn't know that they're listening.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions coming in about this party and kind of a lot of people asking about Beyonce. How did you feel when obviously you met your hero? I guess you were very excited.
Oh, like incredible. I mean, I would have liked to have had a conversation with her and got a few tips on performing. But listen, singing with that in a venue like that, in the kind of the way that it was done was special enough. You know, it was so off the cuff and surprised that it was totally worth it. So yeah, I mean, incredible, completely incredible.
Now this is a brilliant question. Just a couple more. Em, she said, what sort of songs can we expect for the next album?
Do you know, being completely honest, I haven't actually decided what kind yet. I mean, I've been writing a lot of up-tempo stuff and different stuff to what I've recorded before. And I've also been recording ballads and trying some of the classical stuff as well. I kind of haven't decided yet what the general genre is going to be. I mean, if it was my wish, I would have every single song a different genre. But the labels are always kind of tend to agree with that. But I think it's good to show versatility, you know, and kind of mix things up a little bit. I think the music industry, people tend to try and put you in a box all the time. And I kind of want to break that mold of being put in a box and, you know, bring an album where there is completely different music taste on and bring in different music fans into one album. I think that would be something special. So, you know, I think that's a long way off, but that's always what I'm trying to do is mix things up and show that, you know, you don't just have to do one style of music all the time.
And we've also, someone just asked, are you excited for your O2 gig? And that was from Joe's Quiff.
Yes, I'm seeing the O2 Academy in Newcastle, which I can't wait to see. It's the one venue in Newcastle I haven't seen, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Joe, thank you so much for spending so much time to answer your fans' questions. We've got loads more on there, which I'll be retweeting later. But obviously, thank you so much for joining. So excited to hear what you're going to be up to. And good luck.
Thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you for your time, and obviously good luck with all the gigs you got coming up, and for your party tonight. I know a lot of people want to know what's going on. So thank you so much.
Thank you, and I hope you and the listeners have a fabulous weekend.
Thank you very much. Take care.
All right, bye now.
Bye bye.
Bye.